Koreans make up for the 2.4% of the 44.5 million immigrants in the United States. But how did we get here, and what does it mean to be Korean American? There are 3 waves of Korean immigration to the United States. The first wave from 1903 to 1949, the second wave from 1950 to 1964, and the contemporary period. During the first wave, the majority of Korean immigrants were Christian converts, most of whom would come by boat to Hawaii to work on the pineapple and sugar plantations. The first Korean Methodist church was in Honolulu, and these immigrant churches acted as a refuge, connecting people of the same language and religion. The second wave of immigration was during the Korean War, where 15,000 Koreans immigrated to the United States. The War Bride Act of 1946 brought Korean women to be brides to American servicemen. Korean children who were of mixed ethnic descent were labeled GI babies and adopted by majority Christian families. After the Immigration Act of 1965 lifted restrictions on Asian immigration to the United States, there was an increase in Korean immigrants. This third wave changed the demographics of the Korean immigrant. When compared to other immigrant groups, Koreans make up high numbers in categories like those who hold higher education degrees and those who become naturalized citizens. At the same time, they hold low numbers in English proficiency and poverty compared to other immigrant groups. Today's Korean American population are made up of the children of the white-collared workers who voluntarily moved to America. Scholars have found a pattern in where most first-generation immigrants do not fully assimilate into their new culture, while the second generation will move between the parents' world and the American world they live in. Enculturation and bicultural competence are critical when considering immigration. Language is key in bicultural competence because it is a foundation to be able to communicate ideas and feelings in a particular culture. In a study by Frank Conselis entitled Second Generation Korean American Identity Construction, The Influences of Language, Friendship, and Race, it is found that 15.4% of the second generation speak to their parents mostly in Korean. A total of 84.7% speak to their Korean friends in English, always or most of the time, since 13.6% use both English and Korean. Second generation social mobility, language differences between generations, and small business occupations are part of the second generation's narrative. In the same study, Frank Conselis writes, "Being Korean American is an identity that is continually invented and reinvented, generation by generation, and that manifests itself in various individual and collective representations."